Ares base, Mars, red dust everywhere. Inside, 5 astronauts: Mark, mission commander, sharp, experienced; Maya, botanist, quiet, observant; John, engineer, funny, friendly; Sarah, geologist, driven, ambitious; Alex, pilot, young, 5 souls alone on a dead planet. Days were long, work was constant, experiments, maintenance, exploration, boredom a constant threat, but boredom was the least of their worries. Something else simmered beneath the surface. Tension, thick and heavy, like Martian air. Mark watched Sarah, her dedication to her work, her passion. He felt a connection, a pull. But John felt it too. He saw in Sarah a kindred spirit who understood the weight of their mission. Their shared laughter echoed in the tight corridors. Mark saw the looks they shared, the way John's hand lingered on Sarah's arm. Jealousy, sharp and sudden, pierced him. He was the commander. He should be above this. But in the face of love, rank meant nothing. They were just 3 people, adrift in a sea of red. Sarah felt torn. Mark, strong and silent, offered a sense of security. John, with his easy smile and playful banter, brought light to the long Martian days. She cared for them both, but in different ways. How could she choose, when choosing meant shattering their fragile peace? The tension grew. Words became clipped, smiles strained. The once companionable silence of spacewalks became thick with unspoken words. Maya and Alex, the other 2 astronauts, watched with growing concern. Their home, their sanctuary, was crumbling. One night during movie night, the tension finally snapped. A heated argument erupted. Accusations flew. The thin Martian air crackled with their anger. Mark, his face flushed, stormed out. John, hurt and confused, followed. Sarah, caught in the middle, felt tears sting her eyes. Maya and Alex exchanged worried glances. This was more than a lover's quarrel. This was threatening the mission, their lives. They had to do something, but what? How do you mend broken hearts on a planet millions of miles from home? The next few days were the longest of their lives. The silence was deafening. Mark buried himself in his work, his jaw set in a grim line. John retreated to his quarters, the usual cheer gone from his eyes. Sarah wandered the habitat like a ghost, her heart heavy with guilt and regret. The work suffered, mistakes were made, arguments flared over trivial matters. The once united crew was fracturing. The vastness of space, once a source of wonder, now felt like a prison, closing in on them. One day, during a routine EVA, disaster almost struck. John, distracted and disheartened, made a critical error. Mark, his anger momentarily forgotten, reacted instinctively, saving John's life. They returned to the airlock, shaken and silent. That night, as the sun dipped below the Martian horizon, painting the sky in hues of pink and orange, Mark called a meeting. They sat in the cramped common area, the weight of their situation heavy on their chests. It was time to confront the truth. "This can't continue," Mark said, his voice rough. "We're a team, a family. We depend on each other for our lives." He looked at Sarah, then at John. "We have to find a way to move past this." Silence met his words. Then, slowly, hesitantly, they began to talk. They spoke of their feelings, their fears, their regrets. The words came in a torrent, a release of pent-up emotions. Sarah confessed her feelings for both men, her voice choked with emotion. John, his eyes filled with understanding, spoke of his respect for Mark and his desire for their friendship. Mark, his anger finally extinguished, admitted his jealousy, and apologized for his outburst. As they talked, something shifted. The tension eased. The walls that had been erected between them began to crumble. It wouldn't be easy. The road ahead would be long and difficult, but for the first time in a long time, there was a glimmer of hope. The next morning the sun seemed to shine brighter on Ares base. The air felt lighter, the silence less oppressive. They still had a mission to complete, a future to build, and they would face it together, as a team. The love triangle remained. It was a tangled knot, one they might never fully unravel. But they had learned a valuable lesson, a truth as old as time itself. Love, in all its messy, complicated glory, can exist even in the most unlikely of places. Life on Mars continued. They worked, they explored, they dreamed of home. And sometimes when the stars were right and the Earth hung low in the sky, they allowed themselves to hope that one day they would return, forever bound by their shared experience, their Martian love story. The red planet held them captive, but it also set them free. For in the face of unimaginable adversity, they had found something rare and precious, the strength to forgive, the courage to hope, and the enduring power of human connection.